Hey. It's been a while since I put one of these together. So team and everyone else basically wanted to talk briefly about time management and folks exiting, the 9 to 5 workplace world and working on their own. So many people say, and they're not wrong, but they're not right, now you're working for yourself, in any capacity. It doesn't have to be real estate or investing, and you can set your own schedule. Yeah, that's true. But you have to be agile, and you really do. You're still working, but it's not like you can pick 2 hours a day to work. I mean, you can be flexible as far as kids' schedules and anything you have to go to or be at. You just got to manage your clients and manage what you're doing, and that is totally fine. So, for instance, I did not know my son had a practice for lacrosse. I didn't know. I don't manage the kids' schedules. They kind of get fed to me the way I do it now. So long story short, I got hit with something day of at 3 o'clock where he had practice at 6 o'clock. I had an appointment at 6 o'clock. So the good news is I was able to push that appointment back and actually bring him with me, which is really, really good. I don't want to force him, to be exposed to my world too much, or any of my kids right now. But in general, that is really good. So that's what I did. And that is the flexibility that you're always going to have. And, just to kind of, I don't want to say level set, but let everybody know, it all depends on the amount of business you want to do as well. I spoke to somebody many, many, many years ago. You can learn from anybody in this industry or in life. But he told me that, there is a sweet spot for a lot of people. Some people only want to make X, in investing, in real estate, in any, self-employment type of business. And you know what? He was right. He was spot on. There are folks that only want to make a certain amount. And, when they make that certain amount, they either shut it down, any of the business coming in the rest of the year, they refer out, and more or less they're on vacation. So I am not here to take shots at that approach at all. I'm just on the other side of this, where if you're truly building a business that you put the clients and the customers first, you can't refer out business. You got to build a team. You got to build systems where they're still in your ecosystem because you care about them, not because you care about the money coming in or the portion of it. You care about how they're treated and really making sure, this will sound cheesy, but it's the truth. I had this conversation with a client 2 nights ago. If they're working with someone else, they may not be getting their house. And that's not to say we are the, greatest real estate agents out there. We're very good, but it's the truth. If they're working with someone and they don't know what we know, and they haven't seen what we've seen, and they don't know all the tactics and strategies we can employ, to help them out, the truth is their offer may not be the best offer or presented in the best light. So I don't want to get, too philosophical with everyone, but that's a problem for me. It really is. And it is Sunday morning at, 7:20 a.m. I'm going to show a $200,000 property in Folsom. So my neck of the woods, where roughly born and raised, or at least raised, part of my life. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to be blunt. I should not be doing this. But it's a client I really, really care about. I think he found me on YouTube originally, and we're going back 2.5 years. So it was pretty hard to get him a house. But now, we had a conversation 3 weeks ago. I'm his agent and investor for life. And that's not just him, that's his family. So that is why I'm doing this. And I did another showing that I probably shouldn't have done yesterday. Don't want to make it sound like I'm all around all the time. I do try to carve out my time. But at the end of the day, that I met a contractor that I may partner with, and, his family that will probably end up selling. And this is the market that you want to be on, the selling side of it, not the buying side. Probably end up selling 3 houses. So just by letting them know some of the things that I know and I've learned along the way, and I've shared this with my team yesterday, we're going to get 3 more listings. It is not easy to get listings because there's not many of them. So just certain things you got to think about, and where you do invest your time and what your core beliefs are and what you want to accomplish. Because some people can be in this industry and times are crazy now, but they make X amount, for the 9-to-5ers, let's just say a number so they know what we're talking about. You can make $250,000 in this, and you do not have to work the whole year. If you do it right, if you have, the right systems in place, that is totally achievable. So now if you take some bigger teams and you multiply that by 10 and they're bringing, over 2 million, yeah, they're still working hard. There's no doubt about that, in my, personal opinion. And that's, that is crazy to understand this industry or any time when you're self-employed. Folks, I see it all the time, putting in offers. We do get to see, and it's confidential, of course, but we get to see what our buyers make. And there's a big range, of course. But there are some very, very well-to-do professionals. And just like myself, if I took a different course in life, I would kind of look at real estate as not a true profession and not a real industry. And that is wrong. The people that do it right and do it well, I don't want to say right, and do it at a high level and really care, it shows. They're top performers for certain reasons. And that's just the truth. So anyway, I wanted to tie that all in there. I'm clearly driving to an appointment that I should not be at personally, but there's a reason I'm doing it. So, that's a give and take. And I'm going to continue doing it. So that's that side of it. So if you really want to escape the 9-to-5 world, you can escape it. If you really, really, really want to skinny down on the amount of work you do and the time you spend, quote unquote, working, read 4-Hour Workweek. There's many, many books I can recommend. A quick, Google search, you'll see what's out there. But at the end of the day, that is not my schedule. It may be in 5 years, but right now, while I'm able to, my kids are still sleeping, run out, do a couple appointments, come back. I do like it. So I don't want to sound like I'm ambiguous here and going back and forth, but that is what I do. And this house very well may not work out for my client. We're seeing 2, by the way. And at least I have either the video or the knowledge that we can then share with our other clients. And that's the cool thing about having a team with us now and working together. We do have a lot of buyers out there that are looking for houses. So more or less, I and the other teammates are scouts when we go out there. We'll see a property firsthand when it hits. And then we have, like I said, either that video or that knowledge, and we can share with our other clients. So it really is something that works well together and, can help. Because people always ask, well, what can you do for me? Not a bad question, but there's so much more than just working with an individual agent. They may go on vacation. They may miss something. That is, I'm not going to bring light to who brought it up, I think on a Facebook page or one of my internal group text messages. Mistakes happen. I'm a big stickler on mitigating those and avoiding those at all costs. But, if you're just working with one agent and they're running around like a crazy person, and many folks are these days, they may forget to schedule your appointment. They may totally forget a date. And I'm not calling anyone out. Everyone makes mistakes. But again, that's when it comes down to this market and how tight the houses are and how limited the supply is, I see mistakes happen firsthand on both sides. And it could cost somebody a house. That's just the truth. I don't want to make this sound like life or death. Clearly with surgeons, mistakes too happen, and we're talking life or death. You could miss out on a house. So just to kind of balance those things. But going back to the 9-to-5, if you want to do it and you have how much you want to make set in mind, you can back into the numbers, of course, and see how much you need to make. And you know what? Work with the clients the best you can, your sphere of influence, and they'll know and appreciate you. And if you do have to be flexible, you can be flexible. You can adjust your schedule. You can make it to your kids' games. You truly are, in control of your schedule, which is awesome. I could never work for anyone else ever again because of that simple fact. Met a good friend on Friday. and worked my schedule around where I could, I could hang out with him for an hour. No problem at all. Now, I did an appointment before it, and I picked up the kids afterwards. So that's just something you have to keep in mind. And time management is huge. It really is. I mean, even me, just more than the last decade, just getting to places. I know where it is. My dad will joke with me a lot, and I think he's wrong. But it's, hey, look where I'm going right now. I'm not driving very fast, but I'm still on time because I knew there was traffic here ahead of time. I knew there was traffic here ahead of time because I put it in GPS. I know how to get to the house, but again, I like to coordinate and know what's going on. So if this one, for instance, is really going to be super delayed, which it may be now, I'm looking, I can go to the other house and reroute my client to that house because they're both go-and shows, and we have like a 45-minute time window. So we could hit that one and then go back to the first one. So just things where it's not that complicated, but I'm always thinking about those things. And even coming home late at night or something, the GPS trick is a trick, because your time is your time. And I don't want to be late for things. I don't want to miss appointments. So it's funny, I know where I'm going, but it always goes in the GPS. And that's just because of the traffic element and the updates. So the more information we can have, and we have tons of it at our disposal and at our fingertips, use it. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't it. Just like these videos to live on, train new teammates, help people, pass on information, pass on tips. To me, it's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. So that's it. Everybody in your journey to, truly escape the 9 to 5. There's many, many, many different avenues to, explore and take. And real estate and investing is just one of those. I do believe it's a very, very tangible one. In my humble opinion, to me, it just always made sense. And you can learn as you go, but, don't ever hesitate. If something seems like a decent deal or you can get into it, get into it. In this market, if you have a friend, a family member, someone selling their house, and you can run the rough numbers and you're looking to do it, do it. Even if prices do drop, things change. As long as you have something and you A, have a mortgage payment, and then B, a certain amount of rent coming in and you're safe, just the knowledge you'll learn by doing it firsthand and the tenant exposure and all the different sides of that, it's beneficial. And some people suffer certainly from analysis paralysis, where they just overanalyze. And being an engineer myself, I did have, a similar issue when I started out. Not anymore though. And it's some of my best deals for me personally, and even helping out clients, are just quick decisions. And that is, that's what you need too. Especially in this market, you want to get a house. Good luck. I'm encouraging, and I hate to say it, but I am, offers to go in sight unseen. Now, sometimes we can still have a walkthrough where we can say, hey, we like it or we don't, and get out of it. But in this market, if you don't do that and someone else gets an offer in there and maybe they saw it quicker than you, or who knows, they're a neighbor and they know the house already, it's just a bad position to be in. So you got to pull out all the stops, unfortunately, and go for it. So I think that's enough. Escape the 9 to 5. Any questions, definitely let me know. But I am going to reroute in traffic right now because this is way too slow. But that's it. See you, everyone. And we're back. So just wanted to do a quick update. I did reroute and just spoke to my client. He was sitting out front of house early, which is great. I always appreciate that. And he spoke to a neighbor. So 2 more houses on that same street are getting listed, and 1 just went live. So instead of us scheduling an appointment, like he said, and going to see it at a later time, which would involve me going there again, I just asked him, hey, since you met him personally, go see if you can go see it right now. I'll be a couple minutes behind you, if everything checks out, and then we'll go see the other one and then go to the other one. So just, a quick real life time management hack. If you don't have to be somewhere and someone else can take care of it, then that's great. Obviously following the rules and everything we have to, but there you go. So he's going to be seeing it right now. I'm gonna then, probably either run through or go to the other house, and then we go to the last one. So just another, quick, real life time hack. That is huge. But that's it. I'm on my way.